Yeah, I remember with my roommates, we would hit the King Ranch with the hog dogs. I used to run hog dogs quite a bit. And we'd hit the King Ranch, the brush, hitting the cornfields and stuff till about 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night. And we grew up on a little kind of lake, if you will. They call them a Resaca down there. San Benito is actually the Resaca city, so it was basically an old offshoot of the Rio Grande River. And I remember sitting out there, I was probably 13 or 14, and the guy didn't show up. So Dad said, "Okay, you're up." So here I go sitting guiding a guy that's 40-something, and I sat with him for 3 or 4 days. He was from New Jersey. Only person I've ever met that has been kicked out of all-you-can-eat Chinese buffets. That man could eat, but had a blast, and I said, "This is all I want to do."
What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 4 of the Tejas Hunt Club podcast. I'm Brandon McDowell, and this week we got the special privilege of having Megan, my fiance, and other member of the Tejas Hunt Club, co-hosting with me while we sit down with Mr. Bill Weekley. Bill is a hunter, a photographer, a lease manager down in South Texas. He grew up close to the Rio Grande River, and he's going to give us a little insight on what it was like to grow up down there. This is an awesome episode, and we cover a bunch of different topics, from fishing down in South Texas to photography of songbirds and different reptiles and things. I will say I'm going to apologize right now that we did have some technical difficulties on this episode. We had a little bit of audio issues with some echo, so I tried my best to clean it up as much as I could, but there is some spots. So we appreciate you listening, even though we ran into some issues this time. We promise we'll try to keep those to a minimum. With that being said, I hope you enjoy the episode. I also hope you're getting ready for turkey season, because when this drops, we're going to be about 6 days out from it starting here down in Texas. I got a video from Jared earlier today, and he's found some gobblers. 2 different groups, he says. So we're plotting, we're planning, and hopefully next weekend we're going to have some turkeys gobbling on film, and then also some turkeys getting carried back to camp. So if you're not practicing your turkey calls, you need to be. I already know, I've seen on Instagram and stuff, some people killing some birds down in Florida and other places in the U.S. So season's already rolling. So if you don't have your stuff out already, you're a little behind. Other things coming up, Total Archery Challenge. We're going to be there. If you're going to be there, let us know. We'd love to shoot some arrows with you, maybe even have a cold beverage or two, and hang out, talk about archery and shooting tack and everything. So appreciate y'all's listening. If you're not already following us, please do. Bar MC Media and Tejas Hunt Club on Instagram, Facebook. Join the Tejas Hunt Club group on Facebook. Got some cool stuff in there, and our YouTube channel. So if you haven't checked all those out already, please do. Now we're going to get into the episode. Thanks, guys.
It's too much. There.
Tejas.
Let's go too.
Tejas Hunt Club Podcast is the podcast for you and you and you and you. What's up, guys? It's another episode of the Tejas Hunt Club Podcast. We are here with Bill Weekley, and we're going to talk about photography. We're going to talk about wildlife. We're going to talk about Texas, and we'll see how the conversation goes. But first, saw Bill's page on Instagram. He's an awesome photographer. He gets to take some photos of some pretty cool bucks and even songbirds and different animals in Texas. So we're going to get it started and let Bill introduce himself and kind of talk about his background and how he got into photography.
Well, my name is Bill Weekley. I'm kind of new to the photography thing. I've only been doing it for about 2 years now. It's something that I've always wanted to dive into and do. And growing up, I got to meet some of the biggest names out there, and it always intrigued me, I guess. But before diving into photography, I guess my background is I grew up hunting, fishing, probably since I can remember. So probably 5, 6, I've been fishing, freshwater fishing, saltwater fishing. I grew up in a little town called San Benito, so we were about 20 minutes from South Padre Island, and We did a lot of bay fishing, not so much offshore until I got older. Lots and lots of inland bay fishing, and we grew up on a little kind of lake, if you will. They call them a resaca down there. San Benito is actually the resaca city, so, but it was basically an old offshoot of the Rio Grande River, and now it's not, but they use it for irrigation, and it's great fishing. Lots of cool fish to catch in there. My family and my dad's best friend bought a ranch, I guess, when I was probably 7 or 8, and I just immersed myself in deer hunting, I guess. And it's all I've known since. I've been doing it professionally since I graduated college. Running ranches. I got a degree from Texas A&M Kingsville in range and wildlife management, and hit the ground running. I was going to go back for my master's, but my options that year, I believe, were urban raccoons in Houston. It wasn't for me for my master's, and the other one was, I forget what sparrow in, I don't even remember what state in the Midwest somewhere. And I said, no, I had already been working, taking care of a couple hunt leases, and I just hit the ground running, never stopped. Been hunting since, and the photography, like I said, is new. The ranch I manage now, I have the time to do it, so I'm jumping in full steam.
Well, that's pretty cool, man. I don't know if you know this, but actually when I graduated high school back in 2010, my freshman year of college was spent at Texas A&M Kingsville. And
cool.
So I stayed in Turner Hall. I think it was room 239 or 236, but it was like right on the corner. So if you turn the corner around Turner, it was the second floor, just like that very first window.
Awesome. I was there in 2010. I transferred there from Sam Houston State in 2009.
So we did a flip flop. So I went to Kingsville, then I wound up graduating from Sam Houston State. And I guess you went to Sam Houston State and wound up graduating from Kingsville.
I started off at Sam. I was on the radio team and stuff, and I guess in 2009 I tore my bicep kind of calf there at the Sam Houston College Rodeo, and I kind of said I was always going to transfer, and I just did it early.
Yeah. That's funny, man.
Yes,
but it sounds like there in Kingsville about the same time then.
Yeah, I graduated Kingsville in 11.
Okay, yeah. So, yeah, I was there the fall of 10 and then the spring of 11, and then that's when I wound up moving up here.
Cool.
But, yeah. So, I try to get back down there. I had a buddy, one of my good buddies stayed down there, and when he would make trips up, I'd be like, dude, on your way up, can you bring me some quesadillas from El Tapatio? To get here, and a couple times he made the trip, and he actually brought me some quesadillas from down there.
Heck
I love that.
Can't beat that.
Yeah, Kingsville's a cool town if you kind of like get the vibe, but if not, I could definitely see how a lot of people kind of move away from there.
Yeah, small town. Everyone knows everyone.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
We spent a lot of time because my buddy had a place in Rockport.
Okay.
And so we would go fishing all the time, and then we'd go to Baffin too, and then walk the pier and do all that stuff. Get out of there so I could actually go to class.
Yeah, I remember with my roommates, we would hit the King Ranch with the hog dogs. I used to run hog dogs quite a bit. And we'd hit the King Ranch, the brush, hitting the cornfields and stuff till about 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night. Then we'd hit the farm fields in the King Ranch on the way out. Then we'd eat Whataburger at 10, 11 o'clock. Then we'd go hog hunt the farm fields around Kingsville, go to sleep at about 3 o'clock, and then wake up for 7:30 classes.
Yeah.
I don't know how I did it. Can't do it anymore.
No, definitely. I'm like trying to be in bed by at least 9:30 or 10.
I hear you.
But that's pretty cool, man. So like, I guess just starting out, you said you run like a couple leases and stuff, and that's how you got into the wildlife industry. So tell me about your first hunting story that you remember.
Oh man. So I guess
what was the story that you knew that this was going to be like a part of your life for sure?
Well, I'd have to back up even before college then. So, like I said, my family had bought a ranch, my dad and his best friend, I guess, and kind of to be able to afford it, we had to commercial hunt it. And I remember sitting out there, I was probably 13 or 14, and a guy didn't show up. So Dad said, okay, you're up. So here I go sitting guiding a guy that's 40-something, and I sat with him for 3 or 4 days. He was from New Jersey. Only person I've ever met that has been kicked out of all-you-can-eat Chinese buffets. That man could eat, but no, had a blast, and I said, this is all I want to do. And that lit the fire under me, and I haven't looked back.
I hear you, man. So what animal is it that does it for you? Is it the whitetails, or is it bird hunting down there? Because we know the area that you're talking about down there has some dang good dove hunting.
Yeah, so I guess what the deer got me into it. That's always been my love and my passion, and what I go back to. That being said, man, there's some killer white wing hunting down in the valley. And my father-in-law, he's a farmer, and he plants sunflowers right on the river every year, and I don't miss it. That's some of the best shooting. It's amazing.
Some of my buddies that I met down there in Kingsville when I was going to school, they farmed down there. So we've made a couple trips down there to go dove hunting. We do like a little cast and blast during white wing season, and go fishing in the morning, and then we hit the dove fields later on. First hunt
early
together.
white wing weekend down there, and it was a
hot.
very hot.
Yeah.
God.
Very hot, easily dehydrating. I mean, it's definitely an undertaking.
Just have to drink another beer.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I told her when we went down there, she had never been down that far south. So, like, when we got to Kingsville, of course, I grew up in Goliad. So, like, I knew about going down there. Then I went to school down there. So, got to Kingsville. I think it was already dark when we got to Kingsville because we left from up here in College Station. But when we got on the south side of Kingsville, I was like, hey, that's where the King Ranch starts. And then she's like, well, where's it in? And I said, well, I'll tell you when we get down there, pretty much. But, yeah, it's a pretty country. I love it. I like it a lot.
It's unbelievable. I spent 6 years, I guess, working on a ranch between Rivera and Raymondville.
Yeah.
And we had 100, or I say we, my bosses had 110,000 acres of the Kennedy leased, and it was wild country.
Yeah. So I'm sure you see
amazingly beautiful.
Bunch of beautiful bucks down there because I like the way they look from down there, like the real
absolutely.
deep chocolate horns, and like it's like I said, it's different country, even from South Texas, I think. And then I'm sure you've seen a bunch of nilgai as well.
Oh gosh, yeah, we would bring them out by the trailer load.
Yeah.
After a weekend, 10, 15 of them.
That's nice, man. The nilgai's pretty high on my list. I really want to shoot one. My next hunt is either I want to do an axis hunt or I want to do a nilgai hunt for sure.
Them nilgai eat better than an axis.
Definitely. I'd say it'd go either way, man. With me, it's like neck and neck. Just depends on who's cooking it.
Yeah,
I guess.
that's very true.
So yeah,
I love both, but axis for me is still the top.
axis. It's hard to beat.
It is. But those nilgai, the fact that you get so much more on a nilgai, I think you'll kind of like bring it up just a little bit past the axis. Yeah, you're
absolutely. And the stakes the backstrap stakes are a good 4 inches around.
Oh yeah,
yes.
yeah. And axis is a little bit smaller, but still pretty good.
Oh, absolutely.
So,
tasty.
Talking about the animals and things, I'm guessing that's what got you interested in taking photos of them. And then also, I'm sure it's used as a management tool for your whitetails and stuff like that. So, tell me how that kind of photography trail got started, and what was like your first camera or intro into that?
Sure. So again, this would go back to my dad and his best friend's ranch, and we kind of had a ranch right up next to a couple really big name people that were doing some really big stuff in deer in the early 1990s. And so I got to meet some guys like and he doesn't remember it. I've talked to him on social media, but I met him when I was 8 or so. I met Lance Kruger and saw him take pictures and stuff, and that was one of the people that inspired me too. There's 5 or 6 that really made me want to do it, but I didn't want to ask my dad for camera gear.
Yeah.
But that was kind of the spark a long time ago. When I moved up to this ranch, one of the guys that comes out here a lot, he was a wildlife photographer, and we got to talking. He said, "Oh yeah, you need to get into it." And I said, "Well, I got a little. I think my first camera was a Nikon D90, little old camera, good camera though." And so he lent me a lens, a 300 prime, to say, "Hey, see if you like it."
Yeah.
And that escalated to him lending me a D700, and now I shoot a 500. With
So you're still shooting.
I have a couple lenses, and
Yeah.
I love that 500. I will say I'm really close to getting the Z9. That thing is a beast.
See, and that to me is, I'm so foreign. I'm a Canon shooter, and so you tell me that, I'm like, that's just gibberish to me. I'm trying to figure out what that means. I mean, for us, is that a mirrorless camera, or is that
the Z9 is the newest mirrorless?
Okay. Yeah.
So the 500 is great. It's a great camera. It's a crop sensor. The Z9's full frame, but I can shoot 20 frames per second, or I can shoot 120 frames per second in JPEG.
Nice.
So for the action stuff, it's unbeatable.
Right.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
But that's kind of what got me into it.
Well, that's awesome, man. So like, how were you? How did you learn? YouTube, books, podcasts.
YouTube, reaching out to anyone that will respond to me on Instagram, getting out and shooting.
Yeah.
I would say that was probably my best education.
Yep. And
I would go out there, I'd do something, I couldn't figure something out, and then YouTube would be my best friend.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly the same way here, man. I mean, when we got started, Megan was already ahead of me and still is ahead of me in the game. And I'm still just trying to catch up because I was focused more on the video stuff when I first got started. And then once I started taking photos, then it was like, okay, now I got to learn this piece too. But it's coming along. But like you said, YouTube is my best friend for sure. Or
absolutely, yeah. And now, oh, absolutely. And with the way Instagram is, I'm trying to go into the video more because that's what they want.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But that's a whole nother learning curve. I love the stills.
Yeah, it's a juggle between doing both. And I mean, even deciding what you want to shoot when you're shooting something.
Yeah.
For instance, Vince, it's like, do I want to take this picture or do I want to take this video? Because
that's what kills me is I don't want a video and go, oh no, I missed the shot I could have had.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like, in my perspective, it's like you're telling a story in one frame, right?
Right.
With the photo. And
Absolutely.
sometimes the impact of a still photo, for whatever reason, for me, is higher. It depends on the situation. I mean, you could have,
I'm right there with you.
You know what I mean? Like you could have a 2-minute long video that's the same subject in the same, scenario, but it may not be as impactful as that one moment, that one frame. So I hear
Absolutely.
you on that. Yeah.
So I photographed a fight sequence this past season, and I don't think it would have come out as good in a video because you can't see the pain in the eye and those stills, and it doesn't translate in a video. It's so fast.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah. Unless you have like a huge camera with super slow-mo, then you can kind of get into it, but then you're talking tens of thousands of dollars to be able to do that.
Big money.
Let alone the computer that could process it.
Well, and I get back to the Z9 I want, and that thing, the video it shoots is 8K. I don't have a screen that I can watch 8K on, so I can't appreciate it.
When we got our mirrorless that shoots 4K, we had to think about this. Okay, how much storage is this going to take versus how many screens? How many screens can actually play 4K, right? So then it's like,
absolutely,
is it worth the? Well, for YouTube, it just is a little different because they do play 4K, but
right. And like my D500 shoots 4K, but I only shoot 1080p because the storage and you can't appreciate it without that 4K monitor.
We just got another 12 terabyte hard drive yesterday, so we feel the pain.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
That is a juggle for sure. It's like, well, we start filling up one hard drive, and then of course you want to have backups just in case something happens.
Yeah.
So then it's just like I said, it's an everyday struggle, but it's fun.
Absolutely,
for sure. Definitely is. So
sure,
I guess, like you said, you're trying to get into the video aspect of it. Like what's some of the things that you want to use the video for?
This is going to sound silly, but for reels.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound silly at all.
Yeah. I mean, you can only do so many photo reels. Yeah. I'm running out of ideas for it.
There's only so many songs that have a beat drop that you can
exactly. Always searching for one.
Yeah, always searching.
Yeah, and the videos of Whitetail are easy. You don't have to do anything. You just make it slow mo and play it with any song, and people love it.
Yep,
absolutely.
It's all about the deer for sure. You know, I followed like Las Rosias Ranch, and
absolutely.
There's the Some Burrito. Like all those guys are just putting out they're filming their
video
deer
after video,
and then just putting it on Instagram, and it's killing it. But it's some pretty cool stuff. Yeah, it makes you want to go hunt there.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Even just take photos there. Like I want some of those videos too. Like I don't have to. You don't even have to send me with a gun. Just send me with a camera, and that's it.
There's a few places that do that now.
Yeah. You're speaking of Lance.
They do whitetail photography.
Yeah, Lance Kruger, like you were talking about earlier, he's doing that one at Las Rosias. It's just, I want to go, but then we got to save up for it. You got to save up.
I hear you.
Yeah.
I was trying to go, and I was talking to him. I said, "Man, our dates just don't match. I got hunters those dates.
Yeah,
just can't make it work."
Yeah. So how many hunters y'all running through like a year?
Man, we don't do a lot here. We probably do 5 or 10 commercial hunts a year here, and we do 3 youth hunts a year here with 6 kids each.
Nice.
And those are big events, if you will.
Okay. Y'all just donate those to your like the ranch just donates them to kids in the community there locally?
They have. So they've been doing it here for 20 years, and they have their own recruiting section of the whole youth hunts. I handle on the ranch side, and they have recruiters that pull them out of cities all over Texas and find the right kid they're looking for and qualify them and all that.
Yeah. That's pretty cool, man.
That's very cool.
Yeah, we just got done this past weekend. We are on the Ranch and Wildlife Committee for Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo, and we put on a clay shoot for the 4-H and FFA kids. They come and shoot sporting clays, skeet, not trap, and then it's a 3-day event. They start on shooting on Friday and Saturday. Then the finals are on Sunday. Mm-hmm. And I think we wound up giving away like a little over $100,000 in scholarships and prizes. I mean, I shot trap and skeet in high school 4-H, and like I'm just gonna be honest. I'm jealous of these kids because we're giving away guns. We give away a lifetime hunting and fishing license. Like that right there. Like keep the cash, keep the guns, keep the boots. If you gave me a lifetime hunting and fishing license, you saved me a lot of money for sure, and don't even have to worry about it. Just auto renews. It comes to you.
Heck
but we give away all that stuff, and you get to see those kids kind of go through like the juniors and then come up and then graduate to seniors and stuff. I mean, this is our 10th anniversary, and then you've been on the committee for
9 years.
9 years, and then I've been on it officially for 5, and then I started going with her, and so I've been going to these events for like 7 years or so. So yeah, it's a pretty cool event. But so we definitely know about like hunting with kids and like helping, building the youth in the outdoors because it's hard.
I wish I was a better shotgun shot. I've hunted with too many kids at those white wing hunts down south that just put me to shame.
Yeah.
Put me with the scope on a rifle and I can shoot, but them shotguns, man.
Yeah, that's honestly like what got me into the outdoors for the most part. Like I was hunting stuff as a little kid, like with family friends and things, but like till I started shooting, I didn't shoot guns that much. Like I had, of course, BB guns, but like actual shotguns and stuff. It was not till I was 7th or 8th grade, so junior high.
Cool.
Yeah.
I was running around with a 22 at 8 years old shooting. And this is where, like on my Instagram, I don't ever post hunting pictures or anything because I post so many bird pictures, and I have a lot of those people.
Oh,
But
yeah.
man, I grew up shooting green jays and kiskadee and all that stuff you're not supposed to shoot.
Yeah.
Now all I want to do is take pictures of them, but it kind of got me into the bird side of it.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Yeah, Megan loves doing the bird thing.
Oh, I love birds.
I'll watch them and I'm cool, but she's like sitting in the blind. She's like, look at that bird.
I'll video it.
And I'm like, we're not worried about that right now.
I will. I'll turn the camera over and start videoing if there's, a cardinal or something that's hanging out. I'm just like, oh, but the contrast with the red and the cypress tree. And it's like, he laughs at me.
It's like, I appreciate it for like 5 seconds. And then I'm like, okay, back to what we're really here to be doing. Like, cool. I like it.
I got into the birds as, well, no one wants to see a buck in April growing his horns because they're little. And I said, well, so I got into the bird photography as a challenge, and it is a challenge, and I love it. But you won't catch me go out bird watching either.
Yeah.
If I go out, it's with the camera.
Yeah.
I don't have any really good photos of birds.
They're tough.
Our biggest lens goes out to 200. So it's not like I'm really in there. But I mean, I take as many pictures as I can and videos as I can from the distance. And I think they're so cool.
What helps, so my birds, I'm shooting at 500 with a 2 to 500 lens on it. So I'm shooting 750 equivalent. Mm-hmm. And then I get the birds at 7.5 feet. So
yeah.
They fill the frame.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It helps.
Yeah. And I mean,
the distance really helps.
I don't know how it is in the areas that where you grew up, but in Angleton in our Brazoria County, we have, I don't know if it's the most species in the state or there's a lot of bird species that are in that county. And I didn't realize it as a kid, but now looking back, I'm like, well, no wonder. My grandmother and I both have this thing where we're always looking at them and identifying which ones are which. And so there's a ton. But hummingbirds are probably my favorite. That's one of the ones that's a real challenge.
They're fun. Yeah. They're a challenge, but they're also not. Once you figure out how hummingbirds work, they're a breeze.
Really?
They're going to come to a feeder.
Yeah.
And you can replace that feeder with a flower. And
I'm going to have to try that now.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You're going to see me on Instagram making a reel about how long I waited on the porch for a hummingbird.
So some of these big hummingbird guys, too, what they do, they'll take a bush and they'll cut all the flowers off of but one.
Oh, yeah.
And then they put the hummingbird nectar in that to where it fills the flower up. And that bird, they just keep going to it, keep going to it, keep going to it. And they just set their camera up with the flashes up and everything they need.
Yeah.
All the tricks.
Yeah, you have to write that down.
Birds are easy once you figure them out. Figuring them out's hard.
Just got to sit long enough.
Or figure out what they eat. The water's tough even on some birds. Your pretty birds, your painted bunnings. That's not a good example. Your black-capped vireos, your vireos and stuff like that, they're not going to come to a bird feeder. Mm-hmm. And they're not going to come to just a puddle. You have to have active dripping water to where they think it's fresh.
That's mind-blowing.
Yeah, and that'll bring in more birds than anything, dripping water.
Mm-hmm. Like
just,
a water
just the drip.
Or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's pretty
drip.
Cool.
Absolutely.
Well, check that out. Try that out.
Yeah.
I know.
Now I'm going to get all interested in birds.
I know. Now you're just going to be challenged to capture them. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. The stills of birds are tough.
Yeah. There's one bird that I do like taking videos and photos of, but it's about to be that time. It's turkeys. And I don't know.
Absolutely.
I don't know if you're a turkey hunter or not, or if y'all like hunt turkeys, but if you don't, you should definitely try it.
So I've done some turkey hunts. Never lit my fire. That being said, I love taking pictures of turkeys. And I got an actual really rare turkey on the ranch right now. As far as I know, no one's seen one that looks like this coloration. I talked to the National Wild Turkey Federation head biologist guy that's been there for 30, 40 years. And he said, I've never seen one that looks like that.
Oh, didn't you posted this one a while back, didn't you?
Is it a hybrid?
Yeah, it's a leucistic or partially leucistic. So it's a piebald turkey.
Yeah.
What?
If you will.
It's pretty cool. I saw it when he posted it. We'll have to put a picture of it in
Oh,
here.
we definitely will.
It's not the best picture. I was sitting in a deer blind setup for deer photos, and he came in, and the light wasn't perfect, and
the light wasn't perfect. I'm looking at the
No,
photo right now.
if you saw that picture before I edited it, the light wasn't perfect.
Yeah, but it's that's very cool. I don't think was it a hen or was it a tom?
No, it's a tom.
Yeah, he's got a beard.
Yeah, and his beard's gray.
Golly.
Yeah,
I wouldn't want to.
Amazing.
I wouldn't want to shoot him. I just want to
I also don't want to find him.
I'm kind of with her.
I just want to.
Well, you don't want to find him dead.
I want to find him
him,
a minute, 30 seconds after he does die.
Right.
That's what I want to do.
Can we track him? Can we put a tracker on him?
Yeah, let's just net it and put a tracker on it. And when it stops moving, then you know that he's
get out
gone.
there.
Yeah. No, when I say, not from a perspective of wanting to kill him, no, but not wanting to lose that. That's a beautiful animal.
A beautiful full mount turkey to have for sure.
That was one of the biggest comments is, oh, he could look good on my wall.
Yeah. But I'd want him to kind of stay there and pass on that gene, so maybe another one comes along.
I wish they would.
Yeah, that'd be pretty.
But just hearing how rare it is, I fear he goes to the next ranch and first person sees him will shoot him.
Yeah.
He's in the middle of the ranch right now, so hopefully he sticks around and I can call him in and get him strutting.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's pretty cool. That's the part that I really enjoy is hearing him drum and seeing him strut, just gobble right there in front of you.
Some of the best footage we've ever shot of a turkey. If you want to tell the story.
So
I was shooting video. I'll let him tell you what happened, but we watched this bird come in from 400 yards away. I mean, across the field, watched him just drum, poof, basically just fan out 3-4 times. And then he came into Brandon hunting.
Yeah. So we're sitting there watching this turkey. And like you said, he's pretty far out. He's just sitting there strutting, coming in the whole time. We'd call my buddy Jared would call a little bit, and he'd gobble back, and I'm just, oh yeah, this is going to be awesome. And I know she's filming this, and it's wide open. There's no bushes or anything in front of us, just like how you want it. And I said, well, we're just gonna see how far this turkey comes in. And he comes in pretty close. He gets to about probably 12 or 15 yards from me, and I think he's about to turn. I'm like, okay, that's enough. We're gonna kill him now. And he goes to turn his head, and I'm thinking, okay, he's turning around and he's gonna fan out, and his fan's gonna cover me. And that doesn't happen. And he catches me when I move, and he catches me, and he turns his head back, and he stops.
He let his feathers down.
Let his feathers down, and he didn't even move his head. Just his eye moved and looked over there. And I tried to reach for the gun and pull it up, and I missed 3 times with the bird within under 30 yards for all 3 of them.
Oh, man.
And
did you shoot him? Was flying away and everything?
No.
He was running.
The whole track that he took in was the exact track that he took out running. So I got to watch him run for a good long ways and then head back off into the bush.
That's just kind of, little extra in the side there as he ran off the way out.
Yeah. He was dodging them, and I was that's probably the maddest I've ever been at myself. 'Cause not at the bird, just at myself, because I knew that I didn't set that up the way it needed to be set up. But you live.
Absolutely.
That's kind of what makes you want to chase him again, though.
He was handsome.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He was very handsome.
So we kind of hunted turkeys down there south of Rivera. Hunted them a little different. So the Kennedy Ranch has one of the biggest roosts in the state of Texas of Rio Grande turkeys.
Figures.
So it was nothing for us to see a group of 400 turkeys, 500. I mean, just everywhere.
A mob of them.
Yeah. So we have the fall turkey season, and that place was predominantly quail hunting. So they always had shotguns. So they would carry an extra shotgun with them, and we'd see the turkeys out 500-600 yards out. And they'd stop the truck, they'd get out, get the other shotgun, get back on top, and we'd flush the turkeys. And then boom, boom, shoot them out of the air.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know how sporting that is, but it's really funny to watch.
Yeah, it's a way bigger target than a quail. When you
and it's harder than you think.
Yeah.
I mean, you
to shoot them like
Nebraska,
that.
Right?
Well, yeah. In Nebraska, I shot one out of the air, but it was for sure lucky, and it wasn't on purpose. It was just a happenstance.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that'd be pretty fun. You get upset. You're missing quail. Just get back on track.
Go flush the turkeys out. That's something else.
That's funny.
Those quail hunts down there, you never knew what it was going to be. It could turn into a turkey hunt. The dogs would get put up, and we turn into a nilgai chase.
Yeah,
it was whatever.
Yeah, and
it was fun.
I think that's even for that area down there and other parts of Texas. I think that's like one of the best things about Texas is the fact that you can start out hunting something and hunt one thing in the morning, and by the end of the day, you're on to hunting something else just because there's an opportunity for it, and you're able to, which is
absolutely.
I mean, I got to go on my first Western hunt, this past year with mule deer hunting in Idaho, and I love it.
Cool.
And it was a lot of fun. I want to go back. I love chasing mule deer, but I still love hunting in Texas probably more, just because, like you said, you can be hunting one thing and find something else and get on that too.
And you never know.
Yeah, you never know. That's like you said, you get to hunt some pretty cool country down there in the valley.
Absolutely, yeah. South Texas is almost like its own country.
Oh, I believe it.
Yeah, it's wild.
It's so funny. Every time I talk about South Texas, and I've mentioned this before, but when I went to South Africa, it felt like South Texas. I don't know if you've ever been.
I haven't, but the pictures I've seen, I mean, they look
almost
identical.
Yeah,
literally.
Yeah,
there's a little bit of slope difference, but other than that, I mean, it's just I loved it just as much as I love South Texas.
If you get like kind of the southwestern edge of the valley, like Rio Grande City up to between Rio Grande City and Laredo, it really looks like it because you get terrain and topography in there.
Okay.
And it looks a lot more there than like the valley or Kingsville.
To the coast, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Flatter.
Flat.
Yeah. So, man, I know we talk a lot about hunting, but you said the fishing's pretty good down there. And
the fishing in the valley is real good.
I'm guessing that lake that you said you fished on before had some pretty good redfish in it.
Well, the lake was luckily that lake was all freshwater.
Oh, it was all okay.
It's all irrigation water for the field, so
like that.
No, but we had gar. I'm trying to think what all we catch: gar, catfish, tilapia.
Mm-hmm.
We had freshwater drum in there.
Yeah.
Bass, bluegill, carp. I love catching the carp. They're just so big and easy, and they fight.
Yeah.
As I was getting older, we started getting some of those, what are they called? Those little sucker fish in aquariums.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. The black and...
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'd catch some of those that were 16, 18 inches long that people were letting go and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was cool.
Yeah.
It was nice growing up in the valley.
Yeah, that's what I hear from everybody.
It's a cool place to be.
So one of the things I want to catch in the valley is it's pretty hard, but I really want to go down there and catch a snook. So have you ever caught some of those?
I haven't, but I know some guys that can put you on them.
Nice. Well, we might have to get in touch with that, man.
Absolutely,
I got some buddies that guide and stuff, and they've of course been to Florida and fish for them over there and different things. But I want to catch a Texas snook.
Yeah.
I
got lucky. I got really lucky.
Oh, you caught one
in South Padre? Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that was really lucky. I think we were in the intercoastal or somewhere where I was like, we're not going to catch any fish here. Sure enough,
that's where you always catch them.
I caught a snook, and I didn't know what it was when I was a kid. I'm like, what is that? They're very cool looking, but they have odd shaped heads, and how big their mouths are.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a cool experience. But ever since then, not even close.
Yeah, they're coming back. They're catching a lot more of them now.
Well, that's good.
There for a while, they were pretty hard to find.
Yeah. for a long time, I didn't even know that we even had snook in Texas. Like I thought it was like always like a Florida thing, and then like, oh yeah, I realized past couple of years people have been catching them and stuff, and then also until I was in high school, I didn't even know we had tarpon until I went to Rockport and like the tarpon inn and all that kind of stuff and figured that out, and then I was like, holy cow, how we had tarpon at one time, and from what I hear, it was like the tarpon, like a tarpon capital. Yeah. And then they just got fished out. But we've been seeing it, or I've been seeing on the internet stuff, people catching them a lot more too on the coast. So that'd be pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Don't have to travel.
Yeah, I miss that about South Texas, the fishing and all that.
Yeah. Being so close to the coast, it's like it's just easy to do. Like I didn't really grow up freshwater fishing that much. Like if we had somebody's pond or something, we were working cows or something like that, we'll stop and do that. But like just to be like, oh, we're gonna go fish this pond for bass, like it was like we'll just go to Rockport and go fish the coast and do that instead. It was usually just
a more sure deal.
Yeah, a more sure deal and a little bit more fight for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because you never know what you're gonna get when you're fishing saltwater.
Absolutely.
From little minnows to sharks.
Sharks are fun.
Yeah.
Sharks are fun until you're trying to catch snapper, and then they're not fun at all. Then they're not fun.
Well, then you stop fishing for snapper and you fish for sharks.
Yeah. No, we've spent a lot. I grew up also fishing in Matagorda Bay area along that kind of. I've been down South Padre, obviously, but lots of redfish and trout for me too. I know that recently we've been mostly focused on redfish, mainly because we enjoy redfish better than we do trout for the most part. But like I said, we've got buddies down there that I grew up with, and some people that he went to college with and he grew up with. That we don't have a boat of our own, but it's good to have friends who have boats.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
We're kind of at the mercy of them and their schedule, but it's been really fun to be able to highlight the experiences with them too.
Yeah,
and getting them involved with the content creation side of things. But I mean, we've got a trip lined up for June to go red fishing with my buddy Barrett. And that's really, I mean, we usually stick to the shallow, like into my brain's blanking right now. He has a skiff.
The bay fishing?
Yeah, we're in the bay, but I'm trying to think of like the actual.
Like we go a lot back in the marsh.
The marsh. Yeah, that's the word I was
looking
for.
Kind of like sight casts and stuff like
sight
that.
Sight casting, yeah. There you go.
Yeah, so he's been fun to go with, definitely.
Yeah. It's a lot easier to just be like, hey, man, we take your boat out. I'll fill it up for you.
Yeah.
Help
some cool pictures.
Help you clean it off when we get back, and then you take it back home with you.
Yeah, and have some cool pictures to post on Instagram.
Yeah.
No?
Well, that's awesome.
Absolutely.
Man. Well, man, it's cool, man, talking to you. We're going to have to do another episode later on and talk about some other stuff because I definitely want to hear your side on the management side, like
absolutely.
The whitetail stuff. So we're going to have to definitely get another podcast scheduled and do that. But I appreciate you coming on this episode, man. And it's finally nice to like meet you and have a conversation and not just, give you a thumbs up for your badass pictures or anything. But
I hear you, man.
It's awesome. And, we'll have to get together for real in real life. And
if you guys want to come shoot birds, I got a couple bird blinds set up.
We'll definitely give you a shout, dude, for sure.
Or deer. I mean, I always have deer blinds set up.
But. Awesome. Yeah, we'll definitely have to get into that, man, because I had a little trouble, this past season. But it was when you're hunting small properties, it's you got neighbors' pets that chase your deer off. So you just kind of have to just, keep your cool and not lose it. But yeah, man, that'd be awesome. We could do some hunting and stuff together.
Absolutely. For sure.
Well, sounds
Make
good,
a plan.
Thank you so much.
Thank y'all for having me.
Yeah, no problem, man.
Till next time.
We'll see you then.
And I'll just stop
recording.